Commitment's something that a lot of people these days might see as just a short-term task. Something simple like going to the gym a couple times, or maybe it's something like wanting to play a sport, feeling commitment to something that you enjoy. How many of you actually have a commitment to making your life better? If you go on Google, it says that commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or an activity or something like that. It also goes on to state that it could be some sort of an engagement or an obligation that could restrict you from doing other things or restrict your freedom of action. I believe that it can do both in some ways. I also believe that as a result of that definition of commitment, half or more of you guys who are watching this are not living up to who you can be, and I am beating you in so many different ways. Now, I know I sound overly cocky and a little arrogant saying that, but think about it. How many of you have actually committed to something for over even 6 months, something simple like that? How many of you have gone to the gym consistently every day? How many of you have eaten clean or committed to a certain protein goal, something nutritious, committed to walking a certain amount of steps every day? Something as simple as saying something positive to someone when you wake up, or not going on your phone within the first half hour of waking up. How many of you have even committed to doing basic hygiene things? Very few. You walk around these days, you see far too many people who are walking around with no basic sense of hygiene, no style, not even understanding what they're capable of. This should piss some people off, because I know a lot of you guys watching this is going to be your life. I believe you can change that, just like I have. My major beliefs along this, and don't turn away because you feel pissed off. I believe that in order to change, you need to first understand what is possible for you to change. About 4 years ago, when I first started high school, or when I first started going to the gym, I was about 235 pounds. I was 5'4", 5'5", an absolute fat slob who had zero sense of hygiene, complete social autist, and had basically no idea what was going on with my life or any sense of purpose. By the end of that first year, I had completely changed my life, and I had headed in a completely different direction as to where I had already been going. This for me meant that I not only started changing who I was as a person, but how others perceived me as well. I started to change from being that kid who was bullied for being fat, that kid who wouldn't make friends because he didn't have any good sense of style or clothing, the guy who actually had the confidence to go up and talk to different people, make new friends. When I first started, I mentioned how I was 235 pounds, and a complete loser. To flip that and tell you my experience, I'm going to make this very brief and I'll go more into detail in a future video. I went from 235 pounds when I first started working out all the way down to 170 pounds in the span of about 8 months. These 8 months were something of commitment. It meant that every day I was going to the gym, no matter how I felt. If I was sad, good, I went to the gym, used it as motivation. If I was depressed, angry, happy, didn't matter if I had been invited to go do something else, didn't matter. You go to the gym every day as much as you can. That was my commitment, because this was one of the first things I'd done that had some form of discipline. So, it was this discipline and commitment that allowed me to move on with my life and grow. And by the end of these 8 months, coming back in the summer for grade 10 following that year, I had dropped from 235 pounds all the way down to 170 pounds. I was by no means super lean and shredded. I had only started to put on muscle at that point. I was still around 20% body fat. However, this was the best shape I had ever been in my entire life, and my confidence was at a whole new high. And one of the biggest things for me, I went from a kid who a year before couldn't do a single push-up to being able to do 50 in a row. Something that simple, that minuscule, or tiny in the realm of all that is possible in the human world, was something I didn't think I could do a year prior. And then I found out, just by commitment, that I could achieve this goal. It is by committing to your goals, be it in fitness, be it in business, style, getting attention in the way of just starting to have confidence and drawing people towards you, be it for networking, be it for just growing as a leader or as a person in general. Being able to do this is something that once you know it's possible, if you're anything like me, the thought will never leave your mind. As soon as I understood and passed this first year of figuring out what is possible for me, this has been one of my biggest backings for the longest time, and has allowed me to come up with my major goals for this year, and this is something I want to start bringing you guys along with. Main goals for fitness for this year, not only do I want to get in the best shape of my life, I want to continue to prove to you what is possible. I want to be a source of motivation to show you guys that I was a kid who went from 235 pounds down to 170. I'm going to do it again. Coming out of this new year, I was 215 pounds. I've done a bulk. Yes, I was around 25% body fat at that point, so I haven't gone up a massive amount. I still don't feel I'm at a point where I should be, so I'm making a commitment to you guys. This is part of the reason why I'm committing to doing the Gymshark 66-day challenge and committing to 3 new habits every day. The cardio portion of that is heavily dedicated to a cut right now that is going on for my goal to get down to around 15% body fat, which is the lowest I've ever been in my entire life. Through doing this journey that I want to start taking you guys along with, I want to show you what's possible, and I want to motivate you, be it through lifting, through cadets, which I'm a part of, showing you guys how just simple different ways you're perceived can change your level of confidence, how others perceive you, and the level of influence you can have in controlling your whole life and where you want to take it. Doesn't matter where you're going with life, be it to be an entrepreneur, be it to be a firefighter, something like a doctor, businessman, even something like a professional athlete. If you're new and starting out, especially for you guys coming out of high school and just going into it, I want you to know what is possible for you. I've been there, and I'm still going through it, and I feel like if you guys can truly understand what you are capable of and what you can really achieve, it'll not leave your mind. Now, this is something that maybe it's just me, but once I see a goal in my mind, that's all I think about. It's not a matter of how long it takes to achieve it. It's not a matter of if I can achieve it. It's just a matter of how do I do it. I don't care if this kind of thing will take me 5 years if I set a goal. If I set the goal and it doesn't work out the first time, okay, maybe I did something wrong. I'm going to change it. I'm going to figure out a new method of doing it. And in doing so, I will eventually achieve this goal. Doesn't matter what it is. I want to be the one to bring you guys along with this, and I want to set the standard for possibility. Commit to doing your goals right. I don't care if it's something that takes you 20 minutes a day. That little bit of commitment can take you years to finally understand how much it can change your life. Who you can be is waiting for you on the other side of the pleasure that you're waiting in right now. Get up and get after it.